We know we're live.
We'll scoot over there.
Sure. Hi guys, we're live with Shirtless Guy and The Matterator. That's The Matterator, I'm Shirtless Guy. So we just did recording, guitar and vocals for a new song. It'll be our 8th song now that we've done, no, it'll be, wait, 5, 6, 7th. It'll be our 7th song. We've done 6. This is going to be our 7th song. It's called Ode to Roy. It's a play on the fact that it's very classical and orchestral, like Ode to Joy from Beethoven, but it's about hell on the front porch for a made-up kid named Roy, which is actually me, but we call him Roy, so Ode to Roy. And it's our 7th song, and we just did the recording of it. I'm exhausted. Took a lot out of me. Get all the guitars done and some vocals for Ode to Roy. And Matter it's on him now to produce it. He's gonna do a great job, I have a feeling. And I want you guys to remember and see, this is the Matterator. This is the prototype, the original that Matt made, the first one for me. It says Matterator on front. It's got like an emoji picture of me with sunglasses and longer hair on front. It says my name, Jimmie Rex Wiseman, on the front. It says "Get your bush out" on the side. I don't know what that means, but whatever. And then there's a picture of me on the side and a picture of me on the back.
Yeah, show a good shot of that.
Yeah.
You can see that. Oh yeah, there's Jimmie.
Yeah. So it's got me. It's got my name written all over it, basically.
So how'd the sound of it? Well, you like the sound of it?
Yeah, I love the sound of it. Let me get to that in a second, though.
All right.
It's got 3 buttons, three knobs: distortion, tone, and volume. Having said that, this is actually even better than my actual Rat. And in fact, the difference between this and the Matterator and my original Rat is comparable to the difference between my own Rat and an average distortion pedal. It's that big. I really love the sound of this. I didn't go on about it today, though, because if I start freaking out and shredding on it and just doing my number, we're not going to get the recording done, and we needed to do Ode to Roy today. But I'm going to love working with this pedal. I'm getting it exactly to know it better and know how I like it, and then use it in my own recordings and also advertising it. So this is an awesome pedal, and it's so spatially economical in that it's very small and actually even light. It's actually not heavy to hold, and I think that's impressive for some reason. It's like you could almost put it in my pocket, and it's light enough to carry that way almost. So I really like the weight of it, the size of it, and the sound of it. That's what matters, the sound. And this isn't even the most advanced version. He's going to do other versions of pedals and the Matterator that are far more advanced than this. This is just the original. Let the Matterator talk.
Yeah, so we're going to build in a 24 dB octave rollover high-pass filter for it. And that's going to cut out a lot of lows, make it even cleaner. And then we're going to cut out some mud, so there'll be a lot of like advanced EQing to go along with it. And then there is a plans to also put a compressor limiter on it, which will make it sound even better, along with some delay effects. So it'll basically have a shimmer delay in there. It'll have it'll cut off some higher frequencies. Anyways, we're gonna shape the tone to be even like off the charts. So.
Yeah. Well, what in my version of what he said is, it's gonna like be every pedal you want or need in one pedal essentially, and but not only that, with high quality thought gone into the circuitry, because the Matterator knows enough about sound to know where the mud frequencies are, how to deal with that, between this dB and that dB, there's a lot of mud, so he does.
Well, I have a spectrum analyzer we're saying this through. That's a oscilloscope, so we actually measure the slew rate of the op amp that goes in here, so we know exactly what slew rate. We know exactly where the cutoff and the roll-offs are being, because we see it on a spectrum analyzer. So we test every pedal before we put it out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And now on top of all that goodness, we're going to be very reasonable in our prices. We're not just trying to sell snake oil for overpriced stuff. We're really gonna make a fair price for everybody, for me, for him, for the consumer. And to start, we're going to make up 10 of them. I don't know if this is one of the.
Yeah, so we're going to make up 10.
Yeah.
And right now, we're going to have a box. There's a custom actual shipping box and all that.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a lot of his lyrics are going to be wrapped around the box.
Yeah.
Along with like the Matterator on top. So it's going to be all totally, everything's going to be totally custom. This wrap that's on here right now, it's going to actually have a different wrap. So the new wrap that's going on this is going to be purple with a lightning bolt, purple and pink with a lightning bolt down the middle, and the rest is going to be like smoky dark around the outside. So this is like an early version of it. And then also we're going to have knobs. We have brushed aluminum knobs. So we're going to have a chrome one. We're going to have a pink, and we're going to have a purple.
Yeah. So there's no detail unexamined in this process.
The other thing is the high impedance wiring going through here. I got specially shielded wire, just like they have the old guitar pedals. So they have the ground shield that goes over it. So all the high impedance part, even though this is already pretty well, it's metal, so it's pretty well isolated. Yeah. Still, there's instances where you can get a little feedback in there, depending. So the plan is to have all the internal high gain or high impedance
separate from everything else.
Yeah. Shielded. Everything's gonna be totally shielded. Yeah, but that's a new addition.
I think what he's talking about is like, if you just put two random circuits together too close, they're going to start feeding on each other, and not in good ways. They're going to start it'll start to deteriorate and degenerate. But if you keep them nice isolated to their own system like they should be, it's much more. It stays true to what you actually designed, and that the bleed over won't be like a factor years later. So I like that, and yet it's also size economical. It's not I think he puts them close enough together that it's size economical, but far enough apart and isolated so they don't bleed on each other. And electrons have a funny way of just jumping from place to place. So if you put two circuits too close to each other, they can just start. It'd be one super circuit and it won't sound good for either one of them. So I'm really happy with it, and I'm actually happy too that most of the work for this has been done, and the summer was really hot anyway, so Matterator couldn't come over to my studio that much because it was hot, and plus he was working on this. So maybe now that this has been worked on more, we can do more recording and stuff. I'm not going to push it, it's like it is what it is. But we recorded today. That was really spontaneous because I wasn't even sure we were going to do it today, but we did, and I think we knocked it out of the park today. It's just my opinion, and I can say that easily. Not anybody could because it's my music. But
it looked like Biz gave you some money.
It always looks like that. Biz gave me $2, but it never shows up on my thing. I don't know what's going on there. It always says like Biz gave $2, and a month later it never shows up. So sorry, Biz. That's nice if you're doing it, but it's not coming through. So maybe work on it. But I thank you if it does come through. I thank you for it. But actually, it doesn't even show up on mine. But thank you so much. If it does, thank you, Biz. I appreciate it. And I'm just I think it's very interesting and exciting how the channel is going. I also have it's not with the Matterator, but I also have a guy named Al Bain that's going to be working with me with Motley Crue. And they're going to come over Thursday, supposing everything works out right, and we're gonna hang out. I'm gonna have my guitar on the front porch, electric plugged in, ready for them to come up and be filming the whole thing, and so that can't be a bad thing. I'm gonna rock out as Tommy's coming up with the band and everything. And yes, Biz, you suggested, and this is not there's truth in funny suggestions. Biz, you suggested that Tommy Lee might be the new drummer for Morrison. That's not completely astronomically unlikely. You never know, because Tommy and I might. I've never. I mean, I've never had a brother. Matt, the Matterator is cool. I've never like had a guy, but maybe Tommy and I will really hit it off, and you never know. We might end up being in a, and we might the three of us. You know, we might all get in a band, and Tommy might be part of what helps that come together. We don't know that. So and I also want, it's not the Matterator's thing here either, but I want to say my products for Aramaze International are coming soon, and I'll be advertising those product by product on my channel. Thank you, Belinda Clark, for working with me, and Erica and Tiffany in advance for working with me. I appreciate it. I love all you guys and all you guys fans. We didn't mean to cut you out of the process today with not going live for the recording, but we really wanted to get into the music itself, and we thought that by recording the process, it would affect the process.
Yeah, we're leaning into the guitar, right?
There's that too. Yeah, people had said in Crash and Burn there was not enough guitar and blah blah blah. Well, we just leaned in that. We leaned into it this time. It's almost all guitar. It's just a few vocals, but it's all guitar. Matterator, I don't even think there's going to be hardly any keyboards, if any. Maybe the Matterator.
But we talk about our process. Don't we like, instead of the words gatekeeping our songs now, we're going to get together and do more creative sound production, right? Prior to, and then applying the lyrics to it.
Yeah, there's that. You know, we don't want a formula for writing songs. The song's going to start sounding like that, and we don't want to formulate sound, so we don't want a formula for the songs. And when I'm left to my own devices, a lot of the times I'll just write words first, and then make chords to go with that, and then lead to go with that, and it sounds like the same thing, it's just a different day. But if we change the process itself, it actually might change the music and make that interesting. So we just threw everything up in the air and just said, let's just do a guitar orchestra.
Well, similar to Utuku.
Yeah.
You know, the song Utuku, if people are familiar with that, the older song that you put out, where you just jammed, and then we were able to take together different sections of that.
Yeah, it wasn't like they made it with a formula process, like a certain way of doing it that we always do. It was just whatever worked.
What did you think of the tone today that we got out?
Oh, I love the tone. In fact,
with the delays and
I'm going to say it like I feel this. I like the tone with the Matterator better than anything else on the circuit board. Everything else was just decoration for the Matterator. And then in one take, we actually took the Matterator out altogether, and I didn't like that as well. I went with it and did it, but the Matterator.
One of the reasons why the Rat pedal is so famous is it has an older operational amp. There's a sound generator in here called an LM308. That LM308 doesn't have a high slew rate, so it doesn't react really quickly to signals. And the advantage to that is you get a slow roll off on the waveform.
Yeah, and that
sounds tubey. It sounds like tubey glow.
It sounds like, if I can put it in my words, it's like sounding like a distortion made by a $2,000 tube amp with Eddie Van Halen's signature or something. It makes it more high class and classic sounding because of that LM308 or whatever he said, and that's a good thing. But we're going with that, and even making upgrades and things Matterator is doing that kind of go over my head anyway. But this actually sounds better than my Rat. Then again, my Rat is like, I got it. It's like 36 years old, but still, this is better. And I liked this sound. It was the most defining element in my sound today, and I liked it better when it was being used than when it wasn't. So I really love this pedal. I haven't used it on my own personal jams yet, and I haven't shredded with it yet, but I love it so far. I really like the sound of it. So.
All right, man.
Well, anyway, so he's got to go. We did a recording for Ode to Roy. Love you guys. Peace, rock and roll.